So I wasn't drinking anymore, and I had a new life, and I believed in something greater. I found spirituality, I found love, and I found myself. And they told me I was going to be dead by the time I'm 33 years old. So I was 28 years old, or 29, on the border of 28, 29. And, but guess what? I fooled them. I'm still here. At that point, most of my friends, I had a lot of friends at that point, they all passed away. And I went to more funerals in the 80s than you can imagine from AIDS. And I should have been going to weddings, but I was going to funerals for people younger than me. And but for some reason I survived. So at that point, I realized that I should just embrace life, and that's, for me, was a gift. But that I embraced life, I began to travel. I took every penny I had and I traveled. I've been to every country just about in the world. I mean, I've traveled, and I discovered traveling by bicycle, so I've been traveling by bicycle. Now I work for magazines, and I travel in different places. I've been to Korea last year, Tunisia, South Africa, all within the last year and a half. And France in April, and I travel. And back then, in 1988, I traveled from, and this is when China was really still very provincial, and I cycled from Guangzhou, formerly Canton City, where the British had the center of the capital of their colony, and I cycled to Beijing, 6,000 miles away, with some help from buses, because you couldn't cycle on all the roads, it was blocked. And then in 1989, I cycled from Trafalgar Square, London, to Red Square, Moscow. Now, all this sounds pretty great, and look at me, I look pretty great, but I still have a life-challenging disease. I got to take a handful of medications every day. I wish I didn't have this. Even though I'm lucky, for some reason, I'm spared, and I don't have any symptoms at all now. I don't even have the facial wasting, because you're going to get a flyer at the end of this. There's wasting, and we'll talk. I'm going to come back and talk to you guys, and you can ask questions. So what do you think so far? What do you think? Have you learned anything yet? I know some guys heard this, some of you got people heard it last. What do you think? Intense, huh? This is pretty deep stuff, right? It makes you think. It makes you feel sad. Does anyone feel sad? Does anyone feel happy? Is anyone alive in this room? I understand. But I'm glad you're listening. You're a very good group, by the way. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So now we get to the present. So here I am. I'm alive. I mean, for the most part, finding partners has been difficult because, I'm 53, I just turned 54. I have to be honest about that. My birthday was a couple weeks ago. And my life is not perfect, but I still travel. I'm a writer. I'm a published writer. I've had novels published. I'm having a play produced. I have and I live very well, and I have a great house and a country house, and I have all the trappings, which you can have too, because I was lucky. In 1995, I remember in 1990 when they first started putting me on medication, I was in Morocco cycling up at the Atlas Mountain, and I was cycling up towards the capital. I keep forgetting the name where the Shah lives. And it was the steepest hill, and I was with this guy from Seattle, and he was about 5 years older than me, but we were very competitive because we were the fastest, and we kept competing with each other. It was kind of cool. And I suddenly got sick, and he saw me, and he stopped to help me. And what it was the AZT I was taking. It made me anemic. I didn't find it out I just threw it out. I wasn't a fool. I threw it out. I wasn't going to take it. It was making me sick. And then I went back to my doctor, and my doctor said, "Hey, if you don't take that, you're going to die. You look sick now." And you don't tell a gay guy he looks sick. So I started to cry. I was upset. So I go out and I tell the nurse, I said, "He told me I was sick." And then she put her arms around. She said, "Sweetie, honey, go to another doctor. That one's a jerk." In other words, what she told me was that if one person gives you the right answer, use your head. Think. Find another answer. There's people in this world that makes mistakes, and there are people who might have hurt you before. People, adults sometimes hurt kids, young men and women, and they don't realize they're hurting them. Find someone else. No matter who it is, find someone else to lean on, because there are people that can help you. Remember that. I had to learn that. I thought my father hated me, so I was alone, but he never did. It took me many years to realize it was just his way. So anyway, in 1996, I was going to buy after I was published for the first time, I was going to buy a house upstate, and they told me a new doctor told me my T cells were 0. I had no immune system. You know what that means? Do you know what does anyone here know about the immune system? The virus enters the blood system, okay? It enters the blood system and it nests in the white blood cells. And those white blood cells are what are our immune system. They have the antibodies to fight diseases. And and we all have designated ones that fight specific diseases. And then you have the non-designated ones that fight the ones that are not. That if you get a new disease, and that's what happens. So basically, my immune system was gone. So I was on medication. I've been taking medication for a very, very long time. Now we're getting to present. So I've been taking medication. I'm alive. So I realized I want to help. I want to come back to you guys and tell you my story. So I'm here. So I also wrote a play. And you're going to like this play because it's very edgy, it's very real, and it shows how 3 kids in high school get HIV. Now, I'd like to introduce you to my actors. This is Lorelei. She's going to play Claire and Sharon. This is Janet, and Janet is going to play, I'm Janice, I'm sorry. I'm awful. My daughter, I don't even know, is going to play Rhonda and Michelle, and Michael is going to play Andy and Jared, and Bobby is going to play Joshua and Justin. And I'm an actor again too. I'm 5 parts in this play. So at this, without any further ado, I'm going to give you our star, Rhonda.